last year or so, I've seen some of my favorite style inspirations digitizing their closets and using their new digital closets as a tool to put together new outfits. You've probably seen this too. And for the most part, I felt like that's cool, but I didn't really feel like it was for me because I felt like the tools in my current style tool belt were doing the job. However, things have changed. When I look back at my summer style, I basically wore the same thing every day. T-shirt and big pants. And that's fine, nothing wrong with it. But the tools in my style tool belt have not been cutting it. So I figure now is the time to try out a new tool. We're digitizing our closet today. But not only that, that's only like half of what we're doing today. We're also gonna be doing a declutter before we even get into the digitize kind of for two reasons. One, so we can cut down on the number of items that we have to digitize, but two, to use it kind of as a forcing function to try and hone my wardrobe a little bit by looking at it through these eyes. Do I even feel like digitizing this? Is it worth adding to my wardrobe? And if it's not, it's gone. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna be that cutthroat. This is just the framework that I'm working within, but it's gonna be a good opportunity for me to get into my closet, get my hands on things, touch things, try things on, and see if they still fit, if it fits the way that I like things to fit, and if not, it will be going to a new home with somebody who will love it. I try not to do declutters too often. It's been months. So let's start going through our clothing section by section, culling the things we don't want, harvesting the good guys, and see where we get. Also, hi, I'm Kathleen. If you're new, welcome. I make videos mostly about sustainable style and personal expression through the lens of creativity, among other things. Thanks for hanging. Let's get to it. Oh, you thought I was gonna wear a cute little outfit to do this? Oh, you mad? There's a couple steps that we have to do before we really get into the meat of things. One, we've got to take warm weather stuff out. We've got to bring cold weather stuff in. In that process, hopefully we cull items that are not getting worn or will not get worn. And then we'll go through the big juicy bit of the closet, pick our favorite pieces, and digitize them. So first things first, I'm going to pull out things that I know I'm not going to wear again in the colder months and go from there. See you. I think it's safe to say I can put away my bathing suits. That's sad. Whoops. Why didn't I wear this? Now here's the first fun part. I get to decide if these summer clothing items are gonna get stored for next year. Although I don't think I'm going to catalog them right now just because I'm not going to wear them right now, so why waste my time? Or if I want to get rid of them right now. I've got two baskets down here, one for reselling, if I think the items have any value or if people would really want them, and one for giving away to friends, donating. A lot of this stuff I've been holding on to for years and haven't worn for years. Oopsies. But one thing I can't say about that is my button crochet tank top that I made this summer. I love this thing. Apple button is best button, and I will certainly be wearing this again next year. You get stored. Okay, this guy, how do I even, what even? Oh. Listen, I actually like this piece for layering, especially over like a button-up shirt, but it's just a little too tight on the yiddies. And it doesn't fit quite the way I'd want it to. So you will be going. I haven't worn this, but I think it's kind of sexy and cute. Well, I have worn it, just not recently. I've had it for a long time, but I didn't wear it this summer. But it's got kind of like a crafty, sexy witch energy. I think you should stay. We'll see you next year, babe. Okay, this has very similar energy, but make it art teacher, camp counselor. Look at all the ribbons. You stay. See ya. Okay, this hurts my heart. This is a 3-piece set. We've got a little button-up t-shirt, a little vest, and a little skirt. And when I tried it on in my last closet clean out, I was like, oh, this still looks so cute. Why don't I wear this? And then I didn't wear it at all this summer, but I don't want to give up on it. So we will store you and try again next time. This is a little linen set that I used to wear a lot, but haven't worn recently. I think this might be DIY fodder. I've done like applique patches all over it. All right, new pile, upcycle pile, little plaid prep school set. Love it. Linen Uniqlo, super cute dress that we upcycled with these embroidered flowers like 2 years ago. Love it. Keep it. Would you believe it? Another white dress that we've upcycled. Keeping it. A lot of the applique are like terry cloth towel material. It's a fun sensory experience. Okay, this one. I thrifted this in Florida in probably 2017. It's this vintage bandana print halter dress. And I can't tell if it's fun and crafty or if it's Americana. I thought for sure I was going to get rid of this, but now I kind of want to give it another try next year. Dang it. Love her. She's staying. I think the mic's too close to my mouth if I'd have to hazard a guess. Sorry about that. House dress, staying. I thrifted this St. John polka dot dress this summer and wore it a couple times, but the fact that the polka dots are different sizes kind of pisses me off for no reason specifically. I think someone else would enjoy this more than I. She goes. Okay, I've had this Shayna Moat jumpsuit since we lived in San Francisco. It's like tie up the sides and in the front. It's really cool, but I just literally never wear it, and I think someone else would. Little tropical matching set. Love her. She stays. This is a skirt that we painted together in a YouTube video. I love how it looks. It did shrink a little bit when I rinsed out the color, which it still fits, but it's just like not the fit that I love anymore, which is really sad. But maybe I'll feel differently next year. These skirts are kind of the same to me. They have like the exact same silhouette, and I thrifted this one pretty recently. Kind of has like the runway sporty ballerina vibe with the stripes, but I haven't worn it since. Maybe someone else would like it more. Sorry, I gave you a try, but I don't think it's meant to be. That doesn't feel good. I don't like thrifting things and then getting rid of them so quickly. That's my bad. Sorry. I do like this one though. The little slight scallop hem. Very cute. A little matching set just got from the longest yard sale in the world. See you next year. Stripey basic. See you next year. I think this is going to be DIY fodder. It's linen, so let's embroider some stuff on it. I've had this little stretchy bolero for a couple years now, and I just never find myself wearing it. You gots to go. I got this vintage terry cloth tank top at the same time that I got the Americana dress in Florida. I love her. You stay. This is the matching top for the skirt that we painted. She stays. Matching beaded set. You stay. And vintage matching set that we upcycled a long time ago together. I cropped it and changed the waistband. I haven't worn it this summer, I don't think, but I do still like it. She stays. Okay, didn't get rid of much, but that's okay. Now, let's go grab the cold weather stuff and bring it in. Yeah, you know what time it is. You couldn't really see that, huh? Denim dress. If it fits, we'll keep it. If it doesn't, she goes. This is the Big Bud Press long sleeve jumpsuit. They don't sell it anymore, and I kind of want to keep it just for like archival purposes, but that's stupid, I think. But I do like the color. Do like the color. Cher Horowitz blazer. We keep. If we're digitizing our closet, we obviously have to keep the Cher Horowitz blazer. These hand knitted socks are very cute and do need to be mended because there's a huge hole in the heel. Mend pile. Ooh, I missed you. This vest is cute because you look like a little wrapped present when you wear it. But do I need it? Skeleton onesie. I think unfortunately for right now, we are keeping everything in here until I at least get a chance to try it on. But on first glance, nothing is offending me egregiously. Any bugs in here? I'm gonna choose to believe no. My pride and joys, my dresses. I'm being quiet because Gus is in a meeting. Right there. It's right there. Anyways, these are all my dresses, even my formal dresses. And I thought we'd start here because it's gonna be dramatic. Who cares about a million button-down shirts? Let's look at the dresses. My main criteria is, do I love this enough to take the time to digitize it and put it into my digital wardrobe? Does that sound fair? The answer will probably be yes a lot of the time because, like I said, I love dresses. However, I don't think I need this dress. Little thrifted Bowden wool guy. So cute, but I have other dresses pretty similar that I opt to wear instead. So easy. Goodbye. Okay, this is technically a set. It's not even a dress. It's this pink little ditzy blazer and skirt combo. I do love it. Little House on the Prairie meets 90s corporate workwear. Kind of my sweet spot. Here's an event dress that I love. It's got the biggest, most powerful shoulder pads. She's vintage and she's beautiful and I'm keeping her. I wear this dress to pretty much every single event. This Eliza Faulkner beauty will be staying with me. Okay, this one's questionable. I mean, the drama. I love everything about this dress except for the color. I'm just not really like a plummy type of guy. It's 100% cotton, so she could be dyed if we really wanted to. I'm keeping her. The silhouette is just too much. Too much. Yeah, okay, this one, zebra silk wrap dress. I don't like you anymore. I used to like you a lot, and I don't like you anymore. The shoulder pads are good, and it's silk. No, I love this wool autumny floral. It's a little small. Here's my other tactic. Once I get all of these items digitized, I want to open up my closet for other people to style outfits with, and I'm hoping that might make me wear some of the things that I don't usually go to because someone else put the outfit together, and it's probably not something that I thought of before. So for an item like this, where I'm like, I like it, but I just don't wear it often, I'm not sure of the fit. Maybe if someone puts together an outfit, I'll be forced to put it on my body and decide for myself. That logic doesn't totally make sense, but like, okay. Love. Literally just got this chocolate velvet number. Obsessed. Yeah. I think a way that will go a little more smoothly is I'm going to set aside the ones that I'm a maybe on, and then we can rapid fire try those on and see if they're a yes or a no. Also, this video is much more about the closet digitization and less about the declutter. So I might be going a little too hard in the paint right now. Maybe you don't need this level of detail. It's time for the maybe section. No, this is sad because this is a really cool vintage dress, but I just never wear it. I think someone else will love it. Yeah, no. This is also sad because this is a classic. It's this two-piece squiggly wiggly set with this pleaty dress underneath. It feels like a sin to get rid of anything pleated like this, but I think it has to go. This one's also sad. It's got this big floofy sleeves, ribbons, a ditzy floral. I just don't like how it looks on, unfortunately. Yeah, I think she's just too big. I have never worn this. It still has the tags, so I'll try and sell her. Sounds like a plan. Luckily for us, though, we have the weird cousin to that dress, which is this square dancing dress that I will be keeping. Thank you very much. I don't know. I would be curious to know how people style this. Shall we do skirts? One thing about this process is you gotta take breaks. Specifically, you gotta eat or you're gonna... Hangry is not even the right word for it. It goes beyond hangry. So let's take a quick little break to have a snack. I've got my hands full this week digitizing my closet for my own whim and pleasure, and it means that I haven't had a lot of room in my brain for petty and mundane tasks such as keeping myself fed, which is why I'm so thankful to Hungry Root for sponsoring this video. Thank you, Hungry Root. If you're not familiar, Hungry Root takes the stress out of grocery shopping by filling your cart with personalized selections that you can then curate yourself. I try to eat vegetarian as often as I can, and sometimes those specialty non-meat products that I want are kind of annoying to find, but with Hungry Root, they've got me covered with tons of options. And they also screen out additives like high fructose corn syrup or artificial sweeteners. And they even provide a week's worth of super simple dinners using the groceries that I receive in my box. Gus and I just made the Japanese barbecue paneer and cauliflower stir fry. It slapped. It went crazy. So it's always a good day in this household when Hungry Root arrives. So if you'd like to try it out for yourself for a limited time, you can get 40% off your first box, plus a free item in your box for life. You can click the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use the code Kathleen or scan this QR code. That's 40% off your first box with a free item for life at hungryroot.com with the code Kathleen. Thank you, Hungry Root. Now let's get back to the shenanigans. Do it the same way. I'm going to sort out my definite yeses from my maybes, and then we'll go through the maybes. Too short? I love the pattern, but I don't love the length. Goodbye. The main question here is, do I really need two black skirts with bright florals? I know I need this one because it's vintage and looks like it's made of ties, although it's not. It's not made of ties. But do I need this one? It does have such a good length and feel to it. I think it just needs to go in my summer wardrobe. The thing I'm dreading most is pants. So should we do blazers and two-piece sets next? Let's just keep kicking the can down the road. It's kind of my specialty. Okay, these are my keepers for sure, including this denim dress that doesn't really fit like a dress, but it does fit like a long denim duster, and it's kind of the coolest ever. What if I just showed you instead of talking about it? Kind of really freaking cool. It's like almost black denim, really deep indigo with a really orangey brown stitching. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it still has the tag on it from a now defunct secondhand store that closed under mysterious circumstances in Columbus. Why does the tag still on it? Because I'm broken inside. We know this. That was all just a distraction from the hard questions. I've had this for so long, and I think I finally feel ready to let it go. Amazing. Because I have this one now that I love very much. Anyways, were you expecting this to be a maybe? I wasn't. It is cool though. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think I need two gauzy nightgown throwovers. Unless I do. Let's try it. I was not expecting to like the blue one more. I still think it has styling potential, so we'll keep them. Yeah, this set's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, this is the Christian LaCroix aqua and yellow set, and it's kind of a tragedy because I really haven't worn it since I've gotten it. Let's try on just the top. I think it was mostly the skirt that kept me from wearing it because it's just like not the kind of length or style that I usually wear. But who says you can't just wear the top? Wait, the top by itself is so stinking cute. It's got like a little bit of a peplum basque waistline. Yeah, I really just like the shape of the little shirt, but I'll keep all the pieces just in case it's ever going to go to a new home. We gotta keep this set together. Probably only digitize the shirt. I feel like I look like a divorce attorney or something wearing this. I don't think it's for me. This is a little three-piece pink silk suit, and I remember specifically I wore it when we signed and bought our house, so it feels sentimental, but literally who cares? Not me anymore. Someone else will love her. It is kind of a sleigh, but I'm just not excited by it. Okay, I'm gonna take a break and then maybe we'll do pants. Ooh. It's pant time. Now listen, Am I gonna try on all these pants? No. Am I gonna try on even one pair of these pants? Probably not. I think I'll be able to tell by vibes and vibes alone if I want to keep them or not. Yeah, fine. These are fine. Now, before we move on to the next drawer, I do have to tell you that a tragedy did occur, a pant tragedy, and I'm sensitive and sad about it. My favorite pants, the Cynthia Rowley Madras plaid super wide leg pants, were washed in cold water. They were not put through the dryer, and they did go ahead and shrink about 4 inches. I'm gonna try getting them wet again and stretching them out. And the thing is, I got them off ThredUp, so it's like a one-off thing. And to buy them new, they're like $450. So I gotta make these work. They smell so clean though. Anyways, you can stay, you can stay, you can stay. Yeah, these can all stay. My pant game is not the most exciting thing in the world. Not anymore. Should we look at graphic t-shirts? I've got too many of them. And they're all wonderful. But do I want to photograph all of them? I don't think so. I mean, maybe. It seems pretty easy, actually. Let's look. I'm gonna make a pile of ones that I'm obsessed with and a pile of ones that I love, but I'm not obsessed with. And that is where we will do our work. Snoopy Truth. I know you Snoopy heads are watching. One of my prized possessions, my Japanese vintage baseball team. So good, so good. Reminds me of hot dogs, and I don't know why. I just recently got this vintage number. This generic Halloween tee. I don't think we can say that. Maybe we'll just cross that one out. Definitely ghoul. I'm feeling ghoulish. As a rule. As a rule-ish. I don't know if I'm gonna get rid of any of these, to be quite frank. Graphic tees are a big part of my personality. Isn't this good? Got it on Shop Goodwill for like $12. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Okay, I know I just got this Johns Hopkins vintage t-shirt at the thrift store. I don't think I need it. Like, I don't have any allegiance to this specific institution, but maybe somebody else does. Everything is worthy of a photograph. I'll say it. Ouch. Okay, and next and finally for the clothes, we've got sweaters. Oh my gosh, I'm so foolish. And every single just shirt, blouse I have. I knew I was missing something, and it just happened to be a very large chunk of my wardrobe. The thing I feared would happen is kind of happening, where instead of being super brutal because I have to look through everything, I'm just kind of getting blasé and just like, yeah, this all looks good. I mean, I did curate my sweater collection last winter or this spring, so I unfortunately still like everything. At least as far as I can tell. And I'm learning as I do this process that, maybe more of the curation will come while I'm actually taking pictures too, when I'm forced to reckon with the capital I items. I do think I could go through this real quick because it's kind of bad for my mind, body, and soul. It's like all of my crew necks and like cozy clothes. Listen, I love being cozy. It's kind of an issue. So I do have a lot, but it's like, do I need 12 crew neck sweaters? How about 6? Is that still crazy? Probably. Oh, I have to do shoes too. And jewelry. Oh, I'm choosing not to think about that. Am I gonna digitize all of my crew necks? No, probably not. So do I need to be doing this right now? No, probably not, but here we are. Me. You may have noticed this by now, but this is a pliable process. I really don't think there's one right way to go about it, which I think is a boon for sure. For example, I stayed pretty regimented when doing the general framework. I decluttered section. Oh, okay, sweet. I decluttered section by section, and I took pictures for the digitization section by section as well. This helped really more from like a logistical standpoint too, because let's take the shirts for example. I knew none of them were gonna need like a huge surface area for their photo because they are just a shirt. So I could just set up on a bed with a stack of to be photographed items to the side, my phone tripod over top, and I could just whip through that stack of shirts pretty quick. I didn't have to worry about thinking about how I'm going from a shirt to then maybe pants to then maybe an accessory, shirt after shirt, tuck the armpits, figure out the buttons, zhuzh the shoulders. You're good, and you get pretty used to it after a couple. For lighting, I used a mixture of natural and artificial lighting, mostly artificial to be honest, because when natural light does come in through my windows, it's at a pretty strong angle, which makes equally strong shadows, which you then have to fill with some sort of artificial light. I also hope you'll forgive me for not filming the entire decluttering process for the shirts especially. I promise you really did not miss much, besides me me flying off the handle trying to button 42,762 buttons. Why do I have so many button-down shirts? Please don't let me buy any more button-down shirts. It's a detriment to my psyche, please. As I got in the groove of photographing things, it definitely got easier and easier. Mostly, and I'll talk about this later as well, it's because I stand behind the idea that done is way better than perfect. Maybe some shoulders are misaligned, some wrinkles are very evident. That's okay with me. It's a level of imperfection that I'm comfortable with and willing to sacrifice to get the job done. And honestly, it looks pretty similar to how things are going to be worn anyways, so I'm here for it. We're in the final stretch. Just need to do accessories now. Jewelry. What else is accessories? Belt, hat, scarf. And I have thoughts. One thing about me is either I have thoughts or I don't. And right now, I've got a couple. First thought is, people say this takes a while and that you can't or shouldn't do it in one sitting. And at least for a collection my size, it would be literally impossible to do it in one. Like, this takes time. And I'm not even doing that good of a job. But as you go, you do get faster and you do feel things out a little bit. So don't be daunted if you first start and you're like, this is literally going to take 4 years. It'll probably only take 6 months. That's hyperbole. But you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm set up here. I've got my jewelry. We're going to start capturing some tiny little cute items. And most of it is silver, so I think it should work fine on my dresser top. I think that'll be enough contrast, but we'll see. You don't care. This is unnecessary information. Okay, let's take pictures. Let's talk how the declutter went and how the closet cataloging is going. Don't look at that. Why are you looking at that? First, the declutter. Some past closet staples are included this time. Silk zebra dress that has accompanied me to many formal events. Plissé diagonal stripe, beautiful vintage blue dress is going. And here's the thing about what I've noticed about the items that I've chosen to let go of. They kind of fall into 2 categories, or maybe 3. Okay, so one is they just don't fit. I don't like the fit, and that's why I haven't been choosing to wear them, so let's pass them on to someone who they do fit. Chiefly among them, this just gorgeous Eliza Faulkner dress that I never got the chance to wear. New with tags. It's on my Poshmark right now if somebody wants it. No pressure though. I'll probably consign it or something. That's fine. And then the second category is items that were kind of a big swing when I initially got them. And if we separate that further into 2 new categories, all of them being big swings. One is a big swing that I loved and I wore to death and often, and now I'm just ready to refresh. For example, this pink plaid blazer, wore it all the time, and where there used to be a huge sense of excitement about it is now a kind of indifference, which feels extra strong because of how exciting it used to feel to me. This has been on the chopping block in a couple different declutters because I think I felt sentimental about it because I'm like, I love this thing, why would I get rid of it? But I haven't worn it. So that's one category of big swings. And my other category was going to be big swings that when I bought it, I knew it was kind of maybe a bit of a stretch, but I was like, I'm just gonna try it, which if you're gonna do that, the thrift store is a great place to do it. But then I get it and I end up not really wearing it. This blue set is kind of an example of that, although I love this. Like, theoretically, this is one of my favorite things that I own. Another plissé piece, this super stretchy blue column dress with this squiggly wiggly like cloak. This is statement material 10,000. And I didn't find myself wearing it, mostly for this because it didn't fit very well. It was too big up top at the armpits. So let's let it go to someone whose armpits it does in fact fit. I thought I was actually gonna have more in this category that were big swings, but I just actually didn't end up wearing them as much as I thought I would. But honestly, looking at most of these, they're either things that I've loved for a very, very long time and I'm just ready to let go, or they don't fit. I feel pretty good about that. I know I mentioned in a previous video that I wanted to do like a closet clean out to potentially raise some money for charity. I also want to make some new handmade pieces. Well, I guess technically they're old handmade pieces, secondhand, handmade, whatever. So I still need to decide like what platform to put things on and select the items that would be part of that closet sale. I'll be very frank with you, I don't really have the bandwidth to do that right this very second. But keep your peepers peeled, because I will eventually. At least That is the hope. That is the hope. This blazer really reminds me of Diane Keaton, who is one of my style icons. She literally passed away today. Her style, at least, really embodied my love for kind of like corporate business wear that leaned kind of clowny. So rest in peace. I don't know the woman, but what a bummer. And that's that on that for the closet clean out. So let's talk about what's left and how we have been digitizing it. One of the first things I'll say about how I went is I'm not done, which is important. Actually, I've been writing down my notes and my observations as I go to share with you, mostly because I think I'm probably the last fashion-related creator to do this. There are a lot of awesome videos of people doing this and sharing their tips, and I'm gonna have a list of other related videos in the description if you'd like to pick up some other tips along the way and see how it went for them. So I wanted to try and pick out some things that felt unique to my experience that might help you think about this in a different way. So as we talked about in the beginning, you have to have a reason for wanting to do this because it's a lot of work. Even if you have a pretty small closet, you have to kind of know why you're doing it, because ultimately it's a tool that you will use only if you have a reason to use it, which is kind of why I haven't done this so far, is because I couldn't really figure out my personal reason for wanting to digitize my closet outside of just doing it for fun, which didn't feel powerful enough for me to put in the effort, to be quite honest. And I discovered recently, the last couple months, especially over the summer, I noticed that I was wearing the same outfit kind of on repeat, just in different fonts. And it wasn't an outfit that I was especially inspired by. It was basically comfort is king and I'm sweaty. And I think that was for a couple reasons. One, summer, it can be hard to style outfits, so you kind of just do what works. And two, honestly, just being kind of sad and uninspired and not really wanting to put the effort in to digging through a relatively disorganized closet. My life in the world feels disorganized enough. It wasn't really a realm that I wanted to dig into. So to help myself, as we've already stated, I wanted to declutter, get rid of some of the disorganization, clear up some brain space, and then build a tool that will help spark some creativity. That's two-pronged a little bit. Creativity for myself, like I've mentioned before. Sometimes when I'm standing in front of a closet, I feel pressure and like there's some sort of time challenge. It's usually before I'm trying to get to work or trying to get to an event that I'm trying to get dressed. So having my closet in my hands that I can just boop and scroll around on while I'm watching TV instead of scrolling in the doom scroll kind of way, that felt like a good thing to do. And also, I was like, well, if I'm feeling uninspired, maybe my beautiful community can help me with that. Maybe I can open my closet and folks can put together some outfits if they are so inspired and led by the Thrift Gremlin spirit to do so, and that might help me look at my closet with fresh eyes. So that was kind of my why for wanting to do this. I would recommend figuring out your why as well. Okay, other things I noticed, and I have a whole section here of notes specifically for people that are feeling daunted by this, overwhelmed by this. I have tips to help with that. But before we get there, let's go over some really functional things. Like, for example, if you can use a bed or like a dresser top or something to lay your clothing out and take pictures on, that's so much easier because you don't have to bend over a million quadrillion times. The few of the times that I did have to work on the floor, I was literally kind of getting nauseous, getting up and down so many times. So if you can, use a bed. Also, if you have one, a tripod is so helpful, but not totally necessary. Just making sure to get your camera parallel with the flat surface, because if you're holding your camera kind of at an angle, not totally over the item, then the item will look wonky perspective-wise. So try and get right over the item to do it. This is shared in a bunch of other videos, but I did find it super duper helpful, shaping the item to look kind of how it looks when it's hanging on your body. So for example, a lot of my clothing is super boxy, so if I were to spread it out, it would just look like a big box. But when it's hanging on me, it changes, whether the waist changes things or if it's A-line or something and it kind of flares out at the bottom when it's worn on a body. I would try and mimic those things in how you lay it out. Okay, if you are daunted, if you're like, this is too much work, why would I do this? But I still want to do it. Let me give you my kind of like hacker tips on how to make it a little easier for your brain to handle. First and foremost, this differs from the other tips that I heard in the other videos, so take it with a grain of salt. But in my opinion, done is better than perfect. Yes, it's great to have perfect lighting. Yes, it's great to have colors that perfectly match how it looks in real life. Yes, it's great if all of the buttons are buttoned up perfectly and perfectly laid out and nothing is askew. But that takes a lot of work, honestly. And at the end of the day, this is something that I had to keep reminding myself, this is a tool for me to use. I'm not going to get graded on how good my pictures are. No one's gonna be mad at me if one shoulder is higher than the other. And we have a lot to get through. So for me, done was way better than perfect. This is a tool. This is a tool that needs to be functional for you. And I think if you actually get into the app and you start using it for an extended period of time and your picture of your cardigan being a little bit wonky still bothers you after you've used it and put it into function, you can take a new picture. To me, that's a small inconvenience that's worth making the big giant task a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Here's my second note. I said done is better than perfect, but you can also just tell yourself that to get yourself started. This happened to me a lot, actually. You kind of have to hype yourself up to take a bunch of pictures of your clothing. At least I do. So to get out of that freeze mode, I would say, it's okay if my pictures suck. I just want to get them into my closet. It's okay. And that would get me started. But then I noticed once I got started, especially if I was just working with one category, like all t-shirts, as I went, I'd be like, oh, I'm noticing that I kind of like it when I style the t-shirt this way. Oh, it's a little bit easier if you take photos of t-shirts this way. You kind of learn, your steam starts to increase, and you really get into a flow where maybe your pictures start turning out a little bit better and you put a little more effort in, but it's fun because you're already going down the path, and maybe your pictures end up done and perfect at the end. Isn't that nice? Another caveat is if you're going to use one of these closet apps specifically to work with a stylist to help you, like you can hire personal stylists to put together lookbooks for you, I would say having more accurate pictures is more important because that's going to help your stylist put together accurate outfits for you and for you to get the best return on your investment. But just do your best. It's okay. I realized pretty quickly that I don't think I was going to be able to catalog my entire closet or everything that I would want to catalog in the period of time I had to make this video. Yes, if I could have spent hours and hours on it every day, then I probably could have done it. But I got tired. I had other stuff to do, and you probably will too. This might not be a project that you complete straight through. It might take you a long time. So my tip is, if you do get tired, try to do a big chunk over a couple days so that the mountain is mostly crested and you have items from every category to play with. And then for the other items, I would say just take pictures as you wear things or as you notice them. I've already even noticed myself doing this because, let's be honest, I usually have my phone near me, especially when I'm picking out outfits. So after I got the big chunk of it done, there were a couple times where I was putting together outfits and I was like, oh, I haven't cataloged this yet. Let me just throw it on the floor real quick and pop a picture. Okay. Couple more items added to my closet. Easy peasy. And I heard this tip in a couple other videos, but I noticed it on my own as well. If you know that you're not going to be able to get everything in at once, I would prioritize your most worn outfits first. You might even just want to go through your hamper at the end of the week, or your isn't dirty yet but hasn't been put away pile, and get those in there first. Because let's be honest, you're probably going to be making outfits with those items first, more frequently, at least right now, at least as you're first getting started. Okay, and if you're really feeling daunted, I have a couple like nasty little tricks, like little trickster guys that we can talk about. For example, you don't have to button up. You don't have to button up all the button-up shirts. You don't have to. Will it look best if you do? Yes. But also, you could just lay out the unbuttoned button-up shirt and lay the button placket on top so it looks like it's buttoned up from a bird's eye view. For all intents and purposes, it's buttoned up, baby. The buttons are in a line in the center. I felt like my sanity was going to snap a few times buttoning up 1,600 million buttons. And if that's you, release yourself from the need to button and just lay it out nicely so that it looks like it's buttoned up. It'll be okay. Promise. And if it's not, you can take another picture another time when it's all buttoned up. But you probably won't. Another little sick nasty trick. I have like tights, like black tights, red tights, and some frilly socks and different colored crew socks. However, have you ever tried to lay out tights and take a nice picture of them? It's infuriating and stupid. And most of all, it looks stupid. So just Google red tights. Use that. Google yellow crew socks and use that. It'll be okay. I'm giving you permission. Okay, last but not least, I did ask y'all on Instagram. If you want to hang out on Instagram, you can follow me at kathleenillustrated and answer questions like the smarty pants that you are when I inevitably ask you again. I asked y'all if you had digitized your closets, and if so, if you had any sick nasty tips. Some of them I've already kind of touched on because I noticed them too, but things like do it as you're putting away laundry or unloading a new haul. You're already interacting with your clothes in a way that requires you to lay them out nicely. Why don't you snap a pic while you go? Ooh, I liked this one. As far as like which closet app to use, this person says pick one with a randomizer. It helps you get out of your head, which I love because that's a huge goal of mine, is to see my clothing in a new way. Very cool. Sarah says, I thought this was big brain energy. If you're taking pictures of a sheer item, try to do it on a background that is similar to your skin tone. That's definitely an extra level of detail that maybe you care about, maybe you don't, but I think that's super smart. This person says, wear comfy pants because I ripped my jeans from squatting down too many times. And that's real, and that's powerful. As far as closets, I'm using Index. They actually reached out to me to be a stylist, which I thought was very cool. I did have to decline at this time because I unfortunately already have 2 full-time jobs. But who knows, maybe in the future, that would be really super fun. But there are already a ton of awesome stylists on there. My friend Kate from Read Write Thrift just joined up. Beep World's on there, Maddie's on there, Lainey's on there, just to name a few. But use whatever you want. Use whichever one works well for you. Or just make a paper doll of yourself. Like, that would be sick as well. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I really appreciate you hanging out with me this week, helping me through this momentous occasion and daunting project. And I couldn't have done it without you. If you weren't here with me, I would have lost my mind many times. And with you, I only lost it a couple times. I hope you're taking care of yourself and doing as well as you can out there, and I will see you next week with another video. Stay stinky. I love ya. Bye.